Hey, it's a Humble Collector here, and in today's video we're going to be looking at a pretty interesting item here, and that is this little card for the SS Briton. As you can see, the soldier who had this card was originally on number 1 troop deck and 8 at mess number 1. Now, the interesting thing about this card, there's a couple interesting things, is when I did the research on this ship, I was surprised to find that it had a really remarkable story, and I kind of want to share it with you guys. So, a little bit about the SS Briton, and I could only find a couple photos of it, so I'm going to put one of them up here so you can kind of get an idea of what the ship actually looked like. But it was built in 1897 by Harland and Wolff, and had a length of 530 feet, 3 inches, width of 60 feet, 3 inches, and a tonnage of about 10,248. And at the time that it was built, when it started operating between England and Cape Town down in South Africa, it was the largest ship making regular passage between England and one of its colonies. The only ships that were bigger than that would have been the transatlantic liners at that point. So it was operated by the Union Steamship Company, which is interesting because this pass here, as you can see, actually says, if we can get the focus, the Cunard Steamship Company Limited. So I am a little confused about that, but I could not find a ship by the name of Briton under the Cunard line. So if anybody has any info on that, I'd love to hear it. But interestingly enough, besides carrying troops during World War I, she actually was active during the Boer War as well. In fact, she took 1,500 troops to Cape Town at the very start of that war in about 15 days. That seemed to be, from what I was reading, the average time it took her to make the trip from, I think it was Southampton, down to Cape Town. And in August of 1914, she ended up actually carrying 4,000 troops from Cape Town to Europe, and she would actually make that journey throughout the war, carrying troops from up there. She also made several troop-carrying voyages to the Med as well. She was active in some of the Mediterranean campaigns. I couldn't find anything specifically saying that the ship was actually part of the Gallipoli operation, but it's certainly possible. And in 1918, getting into the last year of World War I, she actually carried Nigerian troops to Lagos, and she also started making trips ferrying American troops from New York over to Europe. After the war, she remained in government service for a little longer, but eventually returned to her normal route, going from England to Cape Town, and stayed in operation for several years, actually. Her final trip was from Cape Town, where she left on November 13th, 1925. She ended up going to Italy and ended up being broken apart and scrapped in April of 1926. So, one of the things I think is really remarkable about this ship and the research that I was doing is the fact that it carried so many different kinds of people from so many different backgrounds. That really speaks to the global aspect of World War I. You know, you had colonial troops from, Cape Town, South Africa that are going up to Europe to fight in the war. She's also carrying Nigerian troops. She's starting to ferry Doughboys over from New York. She really saw a lot of different backgrounds, different people coming to this huge, global, unprecedented conflict. And I have to wonder who it was who originally had this pass. Given the fact I'm in the U.S., I have to assume that this was probably an American soldier who took the SS Briton over there. And what's kind of interesting about that is at the time, depending on where this guy was from, this might be his first trip outside the country. If he's from New York, this might be the first time he's ever left the state, And so this was something that was really important in his life, something special. And he kept this pass to remember that by. And so I know it doesn't look like a lot. It certainly isn't as shiny as a, helmet or a badge or anything. But this card just tells such an interesting story, and I really wanted to share it with you guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have anything you'd like to say, leave a comment down below. Love hearing from you guys. Thank you all for watching. Happy collecting. And I will see you all again soon.